my total attention now. I'm not quite sure if I've got yours, though.
The newest Tomb Raider game has redesigned its main character to reboot the franchise, but this isn't the first time Lara Croft has received a makeover. The subject of Lara's appearance has always been a hot topic, dating all the way back to the original game. As the story goes, Lara Croft's designer Toby Gard accidentally increased the adventurer's bust size by 150% during development. Upon seeing this drastic change of appearance, some of the developers argue that Lara should remain exceptionally well endowed in the final product. And so she did. Whether you liked it or not, Lara's sex appeal has been the forefront of the series' identity in the past, staring us right in the face in marketing material and the games themselves. Yet for some overly titillated gamers, it just wasn't enough. Only a short time after the original game's release back in 1996, rumors sprang up about a code that made Lara appear in the buff. This myth quickly took on a life of its own, becoming known as the Tomb Raider Nude Code. Core Design decided to have a bit of fun at the expense of the fanbase, adding more fuel to the fire. Staff members released at least one secret code purported to remove Lara's clothes, which eager fans entered only to have her blown to bits. Additionally, someone claiming to be Andrew Howe, one of the original game's programmers, posted in a Google Docs group for urban folklore regarding an unwritten rule amongst the development staff: never outright deny the existence of the code. The Nude Raider myth was powered by more than just hyperactive gamer hormones. Suggestive moments in the games seem to tease the possibility of Lara stripping down. In the original game, when Lara gets out of the pool, she utters a line about needing to get out of her wet clothes.
Right, now I'd better take off these wet clothes.
Tomb Raider 2 contains an infamous shower scene that cuts away right before things get too steamy.
Don't you think you've seen enough?
Given the widespread nature of this rumor and the enduring fame of Lara Croft, the Tomb Raider Nude Code is one of the most well-known myths in gaming. Most people assumed it was bogus, but then again, there are more than a handful of videos floating around the internet showing Lara bearing it all. Is it the result of mods, or is there actually a legitimate way to see Lara naked?
Welcome to my home.
There are several variations to the supposed nude code and accompanying instructions, so we're focusing on the more commonly described methods. Perhaps the most infamous is the one that involves the pool in Lara's home. Instead of beginning the game, select the option to explore Lara's mansion. Make your way through the series of obstacles until you come to the pool.
Let's go for a swim.
Once there, you have to enter one of the following codes, either standing next to the pool before diving in, or right after you've gone for a dip. If you did it correctly, Lara's supposed to strip right down to her birthday suit.
Air.
After going for a swim, we entered the various codes and came up empty-handed. Lara would speak the phrase teasing us with the possibility of undressing, but the game would fade to black and return us to the menu each time. All the other codes we came across proved to be equally fruitless. This was, of course, the expected result, but we were curious if such a code ever existed. We reached out to Toby Gard, the man credited as the creator of Lara Croft, but unfortunately, he declined to comment. However, we also tracked down one of the game's original designers, Phil Campbell, who shared his insight with us.
To the best of my knowledge and my recollection, there was and is no nude code for the original Tomb Raider. I don't believe there was ever a discussion about including a nude code in Tomb Raider. You got to remember there was two entities at play here. There was Core Design, the creator and the owner of the Tomb Raider franchise, and Eidos, the publisher. Obviously, when Tomb Raider became such a huge hit, there was a lot of demands and a lot of ideas and a lot of marketing ploys. I believe that Core were rightly very, very protective of who Lara was and where she should go, and perhaps Eidos, wanted to look at the bottom line more and see what they could do with this franchise. Because Lara Croft was everywhere at that time. I have no idea whether anyone at Core ever gave out fake codes. There were codes in the game. We took over the Tomb Raider 1 code base and then the Tomb Raider 2 and 3 code bases for the Gold franchise. There was nothing in there like that, but there were definitely codes for cheats. I think there was a lot of rumour mongering in the press and amongst the fans, and you know, one legend led to another, I guess. I don't know if there was ever any real outright denial of the existence of a nude code for Tomb Raider. They do say that there's no such thing as bad publicity, but you got to remember at the time that Tomb Raider and Lara Croft was everywhere. Cover of Face, you know, the Sunday Telegraph, the Times. She really was heavily promoted and highly visible, and I think that Eidos and Core both knew better than that there was no need to generate a lot of false publicity. If anything, they were very protective of her. Of course, there were missteps along the way, like I think it was a bikini shoot for Face and various other things. But the amount of publicity that Lara was getting at the time, I think that, you know, it didn't take long for when the popularity started for the controls. It was very heavily controlled. We decided to do a bonus fun level, secret level at the end of the game set in Las Vegas. We brought back all the famous monsters as bosses. I think the Yeti or the Big Bird, the dinosaur, and we decided it would be a good idea to have all the enemies be Elvises. You know, different period Elvises. So we had the Jailhouse Rock Elvis in his striped shirt. We had the Vegas Elvis in his white jumpsuit. And we did it in black and white. We did it with black and white and a little bit of gold were the only colours. And we thought we'd change Lara up a bit, so we gave her a leopard skin jumpsuit. Just the way that was designed, it had an extra pixel in the cleavage. You know, we didn't really notice that or anything, but you know, we thought we'd give her a different look for this fun, you know, level, which very few players would actually end up getting to see. We took it down to E3 to promote it, and Core were on me like a flash. They said, first thing they said to me was, take out that extra pixel. So they knew exactly to the pixel what Lara was about. I mean, that always amazed me. Of course, they said the jumpsuit made her look like Peg Bundy, so I had to rush back to San Francisco and change everything, put the colour back in, change her back to one of her approved outfits.
That still left us with all the video evidence to the contrary. As you probably already know, a patch known as Nude Raider came into existence shortly after the release of the PC version of Tomb Raider. Though legions of fans now had their low-poly fantasies fulfilled, the developers weren't amused. Back in the late 1990s, an interview with both Toby Gard and Paul Douglas appeared on Jeff Keighley's website GameSlice, where the subject of Nude Raider came up. The duo had the following to say on the matter when asked if they were amused or appalled at the patch. As you can see, the creators were unhappy with the way things turned out. They used their legal muscle to get the patch taken offline, but the damage was done. In subsequent releases, variations of the Nude patch were created, many of which you can still download today. One thing is clear from the interview: the creators confirmed that they fought to keep the Nude code, or a similar feature, out of the game. In the end, all of this makes for a great tall tale in the same vein as Shenlong. This myth has taken on a life of its own and had a direct impact on gaming culture and been reflected in later installments of the franchise. But as for actually peeling back Lara's clothing, you won't find anything more than a mere tease. And perhaps a few wireframes.